the developing that's going on in my village, which is greenbelt land, or I'll also add, um, which which doesn't mean a lot really. People think that greenbelt land is like sacred, but it doesn't really mean that. All it really means is they've got to have a public inquiry before they build on it. Um, and the amount of hours, my village is a little farming village. Um, I'm lucky enough that I know the history of the place because of my dad and myself. Do you know what I mean? Both being sort of from here. And the amount of houses that there, I just seen another thing. They're building another little area, but from what I've seen so far, it's like 700, 800 homes altogether with all the developments put in together. Um, and they're also doing it with a place up the road, a couple of villages up from me. Um, there's outrage there as well. Uh, it seems that they're doing mass building projects all round here. And don't get me wrong, a few homes here and there, do you know what I mean? A few new houses here and there, fair enough, do you know what I mean? But not to the point where you're putting in whole new estates with like 300, 400, 500 people in, or 500 houses. I don't know how many people that equates to, quite a few. Um, the village hasn't got the infrastructure for a start, hasn't got the roads, hasn't got the water network, hasn't got the drainage for a start. And I think what a lot of these, I think that light's zapping out through the window there. That's better. I think what a lot of these developers lack is the knowledge in the actual ground. Hello, Glenn. How you doing, mate? They're building everywhere, mate. I've just seen. I didn't even zoom right in on the map, but the post is. Where did I see it? I'll post it again in a minute. But they're building. I'll tell you some places they are building. They're building up by court, like up the greenhouses where you used to work. All that they're putting in. What are they putting in there? They're putting in a new road and a load of houses, and then the the biggest development. Well, I don't know. The other one that I've just seen looks bigger, but the other development is about 500 homes, and that's behind the paddock, all towards Steers Place, up that way. I've just seen you've seen the map. I didn't zoom in on it, but to be honest, it's just getting crazy. And the mad thing is, right, the big development, like up the back here, they touted it about 3 years ago. It was touted about the idea, and there was a like outcry in the village, and everybody signed a petition, which was in the chemist, me included, and the council turned it down. And out of the blue, suddenly it's been approved. I mean, 3 years later, it's been approved. I mean, in other words, the brown envelopes have been passed about. People have been paid off, or something's gone on, because it does go on. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and that's just seems to have just gone through. Uh, but it's going to be horrendous. They don't even know where they're putting the roads, man. To put an estate that big up the back there, behind the paddock, it's just going to be ridiculous. They'll have to put a road. Well, they'll have to come through the paddock. Well, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. Don't know how they're going to do it. Fucking if it gets too. I can remember. See, I'm old enough to remember because obviously back at my house here, all of that where Marshall Gardens is in the paddock. Fucking that used to be my back garden when I was a little boy, and then they built Marshall Gardens in the paddock. So I know what sort of impact it have. And I'll tell you what, that whole estate that they're building at the back there looks bigger than Marshall Gardens in the paddock. Yeah, mate. Plenty of people have been paid, definitely. Um, And what makes me laugh is I've looked at what the parish council and all that, and people are complaining, and Carol who does she's something to do with the thing around now, Carol Wimes. I don't think they're going to change nothing, man. Fucking needs a bit of don't know. I was thinking let's start getting mad on it all, but I don't know what'll happen. But luckily I've got I've got an easy route out if I have to. But fucking all just looks a bit mad. Yet they're cutting all the service is in the village. Yeah, where that horse field is, all behind that, yeah, all along there, yeah. Um, how they bought the land, I don't know. Some farm, because it's still farming land. It's all farming land back there. Someone's had it away somewhere, or someone's having a good deal. But it's crazy. But yeah, the schools are not big enough. Ain't got the water system here. Ain't got certainly. This is where they're uneducated. A lot of the places where they're building are bits of like floodplains. Whether they know that or not, or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, crazy. Certainly ain't got the drainage system round here, man. Fucking crazy goings on. But I suppose money talks. People they even build on floodplains, and people still buy the houses. Whether they legally have to admit that they built on an area that's prone to flooding, I don't know. You'd thought legally they'd have to say, but in this corrupt world, who knows? Who knows? I know there ain't a lot of football today. I know that much. I just look for my team, but I think didn't Spurs beating Man City 2-0? Or am I tripping? I was saying, was it last night? I was a bit pissed. Been on that bottle of Baileys down there. Who did I watch? Was it Chelsea last night, wasn't it? And was it West Ham? Yeah, you ain't wrong, mate. That'll all be gone. I'll tell you what, I'm surprised they ain't had all that over there. Where the tennis courts used to be and all that land. Probably will at some point. I could be popping up the roses up the road with my mum and dad by then. I think Spurs are 2-0 up. I even admitted, right? I watched this thing, right? Was it yesterday? Was it at White Hart Lane? I had to admit to me mate Lee around there, East Chelsea. I said, I actually sat there and watched the Spurs thing, right? And it was where you were saying goodbye to White Hart Lane and they were rolling out all the old players and that. I tell you what, I quite enjoyed it. Ozzy Ardiles and fucking Ricky Villa and fucking all the old ones. And there was some Liverpool, obviously, we've had players that have played for Spurs and then like that have played for you and then we've bought off you. Yeah, that was quite good to watch. Ray Clements and fucking loads of players. Robbie Keane. That was quite an interesting watch. I sat there, I was quite intrigued. I thought, I've just sat here and watched all this fucking Spurs thing. But I was quite enjoying it, seeing what sort of cheers certain players were getting and whatnot. Fucking crazy, eh? Oh, it's time anyway. Monday night, I did flick on to tomorrow. I see is there 3 games tomorrow? But we weren't down. I didn't bother flicking it to the Monday, but I don't even know who we got. Just need to keep winning. then again, I'm putting money on Liverpool for another title. And the reason I say that is because the last title we just equalled United, and I think we're going to have quite a reason to win it. Newcastle, that'd be an easy game, I think, but who knows, man? Who knows? I thought we was going to annihilate Palace the other day, but look what happened. And I was giving it the right large one to old Finchy, old Dave, in his inbox, saying we was going to annihilate them and all that, and all the Crystal Palace jokes. I ain't said a fucking word to him since so. But that's only the Charity Shield, isn't it? Still got quite a bit in there. I bought this litre bottle of this Baileys, and I've just been swigging on that last night. Fucking puts you back to sleep, though. It does me. It's the only thing I drink, everybody. I've got to charge this phone up at some point. 38%. Where's me Rizzlers? Don't look too good out there. You won. Oh. I think there's some boxing on tonight as well. I mean, mate Bonner just said there's some boxing on Channel 5. Apparently. Yeah, I think it's up near Paddock Wood. Up near Paddock Wood, they're building a fucking massive thing up there. I see that on the Paddock Wood site. It seems like they're doing it because they did it at Capel as well, didn't they? I think. I don't know if it's been done at Capel. I know they was doing it out there, putting loads of houses in. Fucking. Yeah, they're cutting all services, man. It's just a joke. This village is just falling to bits, man. It was in better condition, man, in the 80s. It's just... Arsenal versus Leeds. I might watch that. Arsenal, they're going to come... Where have they come second, haven't they, for the past 4 seasons, I think? May as well. Now second on for Arsenal. Nah, who knows? Arsenal sometimes start off good, but then fizzle out, man. People are getting excited by Chelsea. My mate is, but I don't think they're about to get excited about there. Two. Hold up. Where's me Rizzlers? I might have to plug this phone. I might have to go and look for a fucking... I've got one up there by me decks. Oh. I've got my decks up there, look. I've got fucking Madness albums and fucking specials records everywhere. I've got to tidy my records up. I'll get that into a session now, whacking my records on my channel. I always put them back in the sleeves, but I don't put them away, but it's all good. And I've been thinking about, obviously, all my records. When the time comes to sell them all, and I've decided, I've been looking at Amazon, right? And I tap in certain tunes on Amazon. I ain't got them, but I've got them. So if I was to ever sell them on Amazon, I think I'd be in quite a good marketplace because Amazon's massive. And I'm searching for certain records that I can't find. And they're not for sale on there. They're on there, but they're not for sale. And obviously, if I list one for sale on there, I've got a good chance of like knocking it. Not that I'm selling, but yeah. Got loads down here. Got this new one. This is my latest one, which I got last week. Or was it this week? This is Beats Oh, 2 seasons. Oh, well, I'm with you, Glenn. I didn't know what you was on about then when you said 2. I do now. Yeah, this is the third studio album by the Beat, the last one, and this is the expanded deluxe version. I'll just show you the vinyl. One of them is red, and the other one is blue. And that's my latest one. That's down there, selector. Oh, and this is my latest. Bought this one in London. Latest Trojan album, which is a really old one from '69. I only paid £10 for that, man. Paid £10 in London for that. In fact, there's quite a bit of ska on Trojan. I don't go for the. Obviously, you got the Maytals and that kind of the early sort of the real pioneers of ska, which I don't really. Well, I do listen to, but I go for the two-tone, obviously, specials and all that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of. I've got a few Trojan records. Did have quite a few albums, but I sold them. But yeah, get some real good ones on there. I've still got my UB40 collection, which was my first collection, which is over here. Look, there's got all Madness there. That's the specials and that at the back. And I've got UB40 there. Not going on now. There's my tent. My bike that I'm building. I've got my big Dance Craze poster behind this thingamajig, toughened bit of glass. I wouldn't mind sticking that up on the wall, but the toughened bit of glass, don't know if anyone's ever lifted toughened glass or knows how heavy it is. I've got to like proper raw plug the fucking thing to the wall, I think. Not that I've got any space now, look. Selector there, the specials there, a couple of flyers there. Madness there, Bad Manners, and the Beat. I can make some room, I suppose. Yeah. And I've spotted another old poster for sale, which is quite rare. I've spotted that on Facebook. The geezer wants a tenner for the album. In fact, he's got about 10 albums for sale, £10 each, which is mad because he's got 3 Madness albums. They're all first presses. He can't know what he's really got, I don't think. But yeah. He's got one this R2 tone, but he's got one of the blue ones, and he's got the original poster with it. I'll say hello to your mum for me. Yeah. I've got to sell these records as well at some point, you know that? I can't take them with me. But I suppose that's my pension, do you know what I mean? That's what I thought years ago. I said to my old man, well, I could put that 20 quid I paid for that album in the bank. What's that going to be worth in 10 years? And my dad said, probably a pint of milk, do you know what I mean? But you buy a specials album, man, stick it in the cupboard. Especially now I know the market. I'll tell you what, I know it's sad in that, but when sort of Terry Hall passed away, Rankin Roger passed away, And you're going to get it with Suggs passing away and Buster Blood Vessel. Do you know what I mean? They're all going to pass away at some point. I suppose, luckily for me, in that day and age, in the 70s, I was just a little boy getting into it out on the street. Do you know what I mean? I was lucky that I caught it. But in the respect that they're all probably going to pass away before me. And I'll tell you what happens with the records, as soon as they pass away, it goes through the roof. Honestly, the prices. It's crazy. Saying that, I'm in the groups with all the collectors and that. You're different people collecting different things, man. Like, it amazes me how some people, obviously I've got albums of all of it, but some people would just collect, I don't know, Ghost Town on 7 inch, but they'll collect it from Holland, they'll collect it from America, they'll collect it from fucking Australia. They collect all them sort of presses, so they end up with loads of Ghost Town, but all different sort of well, in some of them they have different labels. But yeah, that amazes me when I look at their collection. Then again, they say the same to me. Wow, look at your collection. But I look at theirs and think, wow, how can you just drift off in just that direction? I mean, to me, it seems alien to just collect one single. Do you know what I mean? I could be in here with 20 ghost towns from everywhere, if you know what I mean. But that seems alien to me. But the way I see it is, see an album. I want the album. Do you know what I mean? Especially with nowadays with a two-tone. Say you got more specials, an original copy, or specials, and then you was 15. Yeah, man. 79 that was. That would have been in England. I was like 8, 9. I was born in 71. I can remember first hearing the specials and that on Radio 1, that John Peel and all that. He used to have all that on there. And do you remember the old grey whistle test and all that on BBC? You'll remember that, being your age. But yeah, that was mad. That would have been the first real music I got into. But obviously you was in Adelaide at the same time, so you would have knew how big it sort of was. It did take right over, man, that music. I'm just lucky enough that I was little and, I don't know, it was different then. All the kids was out there on the street running around and, I don't know, different world, isn't it now? But yeah, crazy. John Peel, man. In fact, there's an album out there. You've got John Peel, the special sessions. Quite rare it is. People pay quite a bit of dollar for it. I've seen it a few times. And I thought, well, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I can remember watching all them. I can remember sitting downstairs with my mother, watching Bob Marley. That was on BBC Two. About 70, don't know, really, about 76 or 77, something like that. That was crazy. 64. I think my sister Kim might have been born in that year. I don't know. My brother Tim, he's 10 years older than me, so he'd have been born in 61. I don't know what year my brother Mark was born in. 60. I don't know. They were from the 60s. I'm just from the 70s, man. Glad I'm not from the 60s. But yeah, crazy. You had a couple of mods out there. I can remember all the old punks and that, with the right fucking Mohican haircuts. And I remember Greg Ards with his big fucking skinhead boots on and looking mean and that up the road. Crazy. Oh, you're the same age as Kim? Yeah. Fucking crazy. Crazy, man. Fucking, how had loads changed, mate, since them old days? I'd say it was better back then, man. There was more, even though there's a bit of a community now, but there was more of a community then. But it was a different world then, wasn't it? Like I walk down the village, go on my little evening walks and that down the village. I can't believe, do you know what I mean? How the pubs, when I think back to back in the day, and now you look at them, man, all derelict and fucking shut up. A sad industry that was lost there. Like if I want a pint now, I'd go to the Crown. You could go to the Rose and Crown. I couldn't tell you whether that's open now though. Probably is open at the minute. Or you got to walk up the fucking, what is it? The Rose Revived. Oh. Back in the day, you could have gone down to Prince, then gone up to the Black and had one up there, and then into the Monkey or whatever, or the Albion even back in the day. And you could then gone up the road to the Harrow and had one up there. And don't even get me on going round Plaxtor and round that way. The Artichoke and all that. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Fernanda, hello. Mark's a year older than you. Fernanda, what are we speaking there? SOS is all I can understand out of that. Looks, don't know. Trying to decipher the language. Anyway, I've got to plug this phone in a minute. Oh, 29%. Ain't too bad. Anyway, I'm going to roll one of these up. It's the only reason I went out for a few supplies. Yeah, man. Fucking. I can remember when I first started fucking Eucharisty. I can remember your brother Rent putting the pigeon in Mr. Arthur's office and letting it fly around. That's when I was in the first year. When I first got there, I thought, what the hell's going on here? Crazy place. Don't know whether you'd have left by then, though. Yeah, you'd have left by then. Because when I got there, my sister Cindy was in her last year, I think. So she'd have been in the 5th form. And I'd have been in like first year, I think. Yeah. Yeah, because my sister Kim weren't there. Was you at Adlow School together as well then, Glenn? With Kim and all that lot? Whatever school I fucking got to, they just thought, oh, another one. Obviously, they'd all had me brothers and sisters before me. Fucking crazy. I think the only Tunbridge kid I knew when I was in the got to the first year was Mark Slyfield, Sly. That was because I think who was going out with Sly's sister? I know Bob did. Someone else did, man. But anyway, that's how I met Slyfield. I met him in Adlow in the summer, and then we went to Eucharisty. Obviously, I knew the Hadlow kids. Mad, eh? It was, yeah, I think it might have been Deanne Slyfield, and was it Bob that was going out with her? Ah, yeah. And that was, I met him, I can still remember where, you know, right by Michael Carter's old house, there, on the corner. So I think my sister Cindy was talking to Deanne, and I started talking to Sly. It's going back some years, man. back when all the youths used to hang around on the streets, man. Well, we all certainly did. In fact, I'm glad I did. Because it means that now, when I'm out there, I know what the crack is. You know what I mean? You know what the coup is now out there because you've been out there as a youngster. People that have never been out there or from different backgrounds, it would just fucking freak out probably. But to be honest, I think it was quite a lot more vicious out there back in the 80s and that in the 70s. Adelaide Primary School, Mr. Arch, fucking wanker he was, man. He gave me the slipper. I'd like to go back and fucking slip her in, man. Mr. Barford, he gave me and Rigsby Whitmore, we was playing in this fucking caretaker's fire behind the swimming pool, me and Riggs, as you do when you're young uns. And Mr. Barford caught us. Fucking, he got his ruler out and fucking woof, whacked us across our hands. Fucking great. But by the time I got to secondary school, they'd outlawed all that. Because I remember Mr. Ray, you probably remember Mr. Ray. That's sister. I've got it wrong there then somewhere. Didn't your brother Gary go out with her? Or am I tripping? No, I don't know whether I'm fucking... I've got a picture of your brother Gary with her. I don't know whether I'm tripping out or way back. This I'm thinking. But... And hello to everyone else watching out there who are probably thinking, who are these lot chatting about? Nearly done a litre bottle. Oh, that'd do me though. Fucking... Everybody then. There's no rain yet. I've got to fucking tidy up them records. And we're down to 25%. I might just rinse it right out and then charge it right up. Okay. Where's my lighter? I thought he did, yeah. It might have been... In fact, he might have even been with her when I met him. I know she was going out... Yeah. Would have been about the time. Yeah, he was the only one I knew. Then got there and made all my other Tunbridge pals. A lot of them ain't even here anymore. Staff, fucking Bob Lobb, people like that. That's who I went to school with. In fact, Dave, Staff, I had some fucking funny times with, man. Fucking... I just used to, by the time I got to secondary school, I used to fucking just... Because they'd outlawed beating the kids then. Mr. Ray I was talking about. Mr. Ray, stop smoking. Sorry, Sonic. I quite enjoy smoking. Anyway, Mr. Ray, I can remember him. And I was in trouble, and he got the cane out. And he said to me, go and ask your brother Tim what this feels like. But he couldn't hit me with it, Mr. Ray. But do you want to know what he did? He whacked it on the filing cabinet and on the fucking desk. And I went back to my brother Tim. I said, oh, Mr. Ray asked me. Tim said, tell him to fuck off. Fucking Because obviously in Tim's day, they could probably give you a whack with a fucking cane. Obviously, you go back in time. Like my dad went to Adlow School, and my granddad. My granddad would have gone to Adlow School just after the 1900, because he was born in 1899. Hello, Sonic. How are you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. I'm trying to get out of this sun, which keeps shining through. Not that it's really sunny. Yeah, Mr. Which game? What? Sports game? Football, boxing, athletics, cricket, a bit of cricket. Yeah, Mr. Ray, man. Mr. Ham. What did he do? Mr. Ham. RE, I think. Used to be in a hut. How that school's changed. Well, well, I think it's got another name now. It was a technology college. Crazy, eh? Little school buses. I can remember, well, sometimes we didn't get as far as the bus. I got as far as Rigsby's house. That was it. Because Anne used to go to work before the bus went. It was only Sam used to grass Riggs up sometimes, but half of the time Sam didn't go, and then Rigsby would just sit there playing his fucking ZX Spectrum all day, and we'd just sit around Rigsby's. I don't know. Wish I had £1 for every day I Skyped off with Rigsby. I'd be rich, man. They were the good old days, though. Fucking crazy, eh? The good old comprehensive school system. You got the cane. Who gave you the cane? Who was the head? Mr. Howard, wasn't it? Because then, when I started, I think it was in my second year, or was it my first year, that Mr. Howard left, and then that Mr. West took over. And what he did, I think he banned football, and we just played rugby, which well, they always used to put me as hooker because I was quite tall, but I didn't really like rugby. But I quite enjoyed that running. Actually used to run for the school, man. All the running around from the police in Adlow, man. He was always a good runner. In fact, I got a picture, right, of your brother Mark with a trophy standing next to my sister Kim, which was in the paper. Don't know if you've ever seen that. My sister Kim's got it. Yeah, your brother Mark's won a trophy for running, and so did my sister. In fact, my sister held, she might even still hold it, my sister Kim held a record down at Adlow School for running that stood for many a year. Yeah, but your brother Mark must have been a good runner. Just get in the paper. Try to think what year that would have been. I'll try and get a copy of it, man. My sister, if you ask my sister Kim, she'll show you that. Yeah. In the Courier, I think it was. But my sister had a proper developed copy of it. Yeah, your brother Mark was standing there with a trophy, and so was Kim, so was a couple of other bods, but I didn't know who they was. Oh, he knew what he was talking about, Mr. Ray, then, when he was telling me about it and whacking it about. I shit myself. Thought, fucking hell, he's going to dip me with that in a minute. But I just used to walk off at you, Christy. I just go, yeah, whatever. Just walk off, man. Yeah, probably Mr. Ray always gave out the whackings then. But saying that, he was a good old teacher. And many a time, right, we had him standing for RE, and all you'd have to do is get him talking about the war, and that was it. You wouldn't do RE. You'd be sitting there, and he'd be giving you his war stories, which, to be honest, Now I look back, you know what I mean, they was all heroes, really, man. I can remember being in the Rose and Crown with my dad when I was a young boy. And my dad said, listen to these boys, Phil. And they was all talking about the war and like what they was doing. That was all the Adlo people. You probably know them. I can think of a few of their old names. But yeah, fucking crazy. They all sort of passed away. You know, they was all old men when I was in there with my dad. You know what I mean? Like many years ago. Um, I believe it's still going. Yeah, I think they still do paper copies of it as well, Glenn. Um, but we don't get. You used to get like other papers like the News in Focus and all that. Do you remember them ones? The free ones that used to come around. They don't come anymore. Whether they're still online, I don't know. But no, because back in the day, the Focus used to be the big, massive bit, didn't it? You could fucking. Back when you could get a job in Tunbridge, mate, around the industrial estate. There used to be fucking loads of factory jobs going around now. That was where you used to look. I was saying that my first job was when I was 15, working for Paul Richards and all that lot. Fucking Mulmoy, Kev Davis, fucking, what, was it Nigel Williams or his brother Gareth Williams? I was only 15. My dad said, oh, get down Richards' house. He'll give you a job. So I went down there, got a job again. And then from there, when I was 16, I went to Plaxtall Bakery, where my brother Mark had been at Plaxtall. Back when bakers used to actually make things, man. Even that shop's closed down. Well, they've still got Plaxtall Bakery, but the actual shop at Plaxtall is an house now and all the grounds. Yeah. Fucking plenty of jobs going, man. It was back in the day. You could always look in that courier and find the jobs. Fucking. Now you go around there, it's not really industrial anymore. It's more retail, more than sort of industrial. Could have a big factory. What was the one Greg and that worked at? Greg's old man, Edenon's, isn't it? Brett and all that worked there. Where was that? Up near the post office, I think. Yeah, I don't know if the firm's like Colas. I think my brother Tim worked for them, but he fucking worked for everyone. Probably robbed everyone that he worked at. Fucking Adlo Bakery, I used to work at as well, back when it was next to the Prince, Mr. Woodford, the old baker. Fucking Zonas, man, I worked there. That was in Tunbridge. Fucking. Back in the day, there was loads of bakers, man. Now it's just throw it in one end, it comes out the other. Back in my day, you used moulded bread with your hands, fucking, you know what I mean? It was hands on. Wasn't there somewhere in Tunbridge they had those as well, Glenn? Or have I got the name wrong? Where did Brett's old man work? And Greg, I think. And Scott, I think. I think the only one that didn't work there is Grant, I think. I went up there with Brett a couple of times. Or maybe I got it wrong, I don't know. But it weren't Paddock Wood, man. It was up near the post office. We're down to 18%. We just roll with it. What were they? A plastics factory, weren't they? My old man's worked for a couple of them. But again, you worked at Adlo Fiberglass as well, didn't you? My dad and that was there. But then again, that was a good employer, wasn't it? John Chick, I remember John Chick worked down there. You worked there. Stuart Cobb's mum. There's a couple of women, wasn't it? Worked down the fiberglass. In fact, I've still got down there. I'll show you. This will make you trip out, Glenn. I've still got, obviously, my old man used to fix things, and I've still got some of the original like dog bowl things that they made, because obviously you made buckets and fucking weird things like that. I've still got a few of them down here, which I've had all these years. I suppose it's the joys of being in the same house. You don't lose things. Do you remember them? These bowls, Adlo, mate, these were made. That's how old they are, so old we are. But yeah. The old fucking fiberglass factory. I remember my dad used to mend things and that with the fiberglass in the shed, and used to mix it all up. I mean, I always think, you know. So I used to get out there in the shed with him. Whenever my old man was fixing anything, that's why I like electronics and that now. Whenever my old man was doing anything, I was sort of right behind him, watching him, asking a million questions. But yeah, Adlo products, man. I'm probably, well, apart from the edible goods, I'm probably the only one in Adlo with anything like that, man. They've survived some years. I can remember you used to meet me old man down the village, man, on a whatever payday was it a Friday down there? And we used to go in the VG. Do you remember the VG? Which is now a house with the blue front that it had out the front. And that was back in the day. You used to go in the shop. You didn't sort of help yourself. The geezer used to walk around with a bag. What do you want, Mr. Homewood? He used to go around putting it all in. That's it. Mary Widow, she was well rich, wasn't she? Had a daughter, didn't she, as well? Because they had that big house, didn't they? Next to it. They must have been worth some dough, mate, when they sold up. Obviously, there's all houses there now, but yeah, I can remember going up there, the old Splodge, walking up the lane, and you just go round the corner of the lane, and there it was. My old man always used to smell of grease and shit. They must have been very rich. Because that was a booming little business, wasn't it? They had plenty of work there, didn't they, when it was going? I could only imagine how many sort of buckets and things and bits and bobs they would have churned out on orders, but fucking hell. Back when people used to get wage packets, man. I can remember as well, down in the delicatessen, when I used to I did a bit of roofing. That's when I first got working with Bubsy. When I was that's what I bought my first car off, was Bubs. Oh, right, that other house. What, you on about the house that used to be next to the factory, or the other one that's around the corner? Then again, they've redeveloped it, haven't they? So I'm imagining it how it was. But yeah, I can remember getting checks, man, and going in. Stuart's dad used to cash them. You didn't need no, because obviously he knew who you was. I think you just give him the check, and as long as I bought a couple of Tennants, man. Them Tennants used to drink them, man, in the blue cans. That's going back some years. As long as you got a few cans in there, he'd cash it up for you. Did that quite a few times. I think quite a few you probably done that yourself, maybe. I know quite a few Adlo Herberts did. Oh, the one round the corner. Yeah, I think that's the house still where that was. I think it's just been redeveloped now. Or no, might be the original one. Just a bit of work done. I can't remember. I'll stop drinking that Baileys, start drinking this energy thing. It's at 3 o'clock. Fucking crazy. So always remember the distinctive smell of that fiberglass factory. Fucking. I'll have a walk up one night as well and do a little video up where the greenhouses are. I'll actually get over the gate and have a wander about. Ain't like no one's gonna nick me, man. It's just trash, but they don't even do nothing. I don't know when they even see me. But I don't know whether they've got security that go around every. However, but I'll get over and I'll have a look because all the aluminium, all the glass that you put up. I don't know if you put the aluminium frames up as well, but I know you did all the glass, all that stuff, and that's where they're building all on that bit. And behind that, they started building right behind that, but they've now sort of fenced off the greenhouses, and I think they're gonna pull them down. But someone's gonna have it away with the scrap there. Me, hopefully. Yeah, all that glass will be coming down. That's been in there to me. I don't know whether that glass what quality that glass was that you put in there. It might have gone right brittle over the years. I don't know. Or it might just be good as new. Who knows? I don't know what sort of glass you put in there. But yeah, all that's going to be coming down. I think there's about 100 homes up there. Fucking. It's like all that bit. Do you remember where the old Travellers used to be on the way to Golden Green? On the right hand side. That's all blocked off now. I don't know whether that's part of it or whether that's earmarked for something they're going to pop up in the future. But yeah, it's all very suspect, I think. But can anybody change it? Probably not. People have been paid, you know what I mean? But I know one thing. If saying 2 or 3 years' time this village is just fucking unrecognisable, I'm off, man. Well, I might even do the off anyway. Who knows? Fucking, who knows what the future holds? But yeah, what's going on out there? I've got to finish my bike. Fucking building my new bike. Got luminous pink mag wheels, luminous blue frame. And it got too hot. It's been that hot out there that my trees fucking, the leaves are coming off already. Fucking, not even in autumn yet. It's because it's been so hot. But, beat stuff. That's an original beat ad at the Melody Maker, I think it was. And I got that 12-inch as well. And ironically enough, that hit it 12-inch. Probably the hardest beat 12-inch to find. But I've got to sell that one at some point. And I'm saying, at the point I've sold all my records, I'm going to be like sitting here listening to silence. But I'll have to record them before you can digitalise it, I suppose. Because it's pointless me fucking sitting here on all these records all my life and then boom, I'm off up the cemetery, do you know what I mean? And these records are just Don't know. My nieces and nephew, well, my nieces at the minute are getting some things from me, my dad's and my mum's, which is my niece Kate and my niece Cassie. Yeah, mate, you have a good one. Enjoy your week. I'm down to 11%, so I'm gonna plug this fucking thing in. Anyway, it's been good chatting, man. Talking about the olden days. Whatever you doing, have a good one, man. Catch you a bit later.